Good afternoon once again, everyone. Welcome to our session today. We're going to have our discussion on financial statements analysis. Okay, so may I ask you, class, what's the end goal of the accounting process? What's the end goal in mind of the accounting process? Anyone? What did you learn in your accounting class? Ano ba yung goal ng accounting process? Ano natutunan nyo, class? So you have your accounting process. Ano yung goal niya? Why do you have this accounting process? The goal is to allow the readers, okay, to make. Terence, kindly share your answer to to everyone. Okay, pati Jasmine, paki-share din yung paki-chat news to everyone. Wag lang sa akin, wag lang direct message sa akin para makita ng classmates niyo answers niyo. Terence and Jasmine, please. Okay, thank you, Terence, to allow the readers to make an informed decision. Okay, that's good, no? Kasi, di ba, ang nature ng accounting process, ang mga preliminary steps yan is to record the transaction and then isa-summarize yan, di ba? In order to generate reports. Okay, so the end goal of the accounting process is the generation of reports. Okay, yeah, provide accurate records of all transactions. Okay, ano yung mga reports na yun, class? What did you learn in your basic accounting? Sabi ko kanina, we said that one of the end goals of the accounting process is to generate reports. No? Ano yung reports na yun? And sabi nga ni Terence, itong reports na to should be useful to be used by stakeholders, interested parties who would want to make use of the financial or accounting information. So what are these reports that is generated by the accounting process? Yes, thank you, Gabriela. Financial statements. Pero ano yung financial statements na yun? Okay, let's give examples of those financial statements. Anyone, please? Okay, you may unmute yourself na lang para kasi nahihirapan ako dito sa mouse. If you can unmute yourself, okay, so that I don't have to open the chat. Okay, so meron tayong balance sheet. Thank you, that's correct, no? Meron tayong income statement. Okay, that's correct. Meron tayong statement of cash flows. That's correct. And statement of owner's equity. Yeah, you're correct. So you mentioned the most important ones, no? Yung income statement, yung balance sheet, yung statement of cash flows, and statement of owner's equity. Okay, so these are the four major financial statements. Tapos kasali pa dito yung notes to the financial statements. Okay, these are added information to the financial statements that cannot be otherwise part of the financial statements. All right, so let's briefly review what the income statement is, class. Ano ba yung information na makukuha natin sa income statement? This tells us of the class.
Net income or net loss po.
Okay, thank you. Net income or net loss, di ba? So it tells us of the results of the operations of the firm. Okay, for a given what class? Given for a given what? Point in time or period of time? class? Yung income statement ba ang binibigyan ng report niyan, period of time or point in time? Okay, kung puwede paki-unmute na lang, Okay, you're correct 'no? Amanda and Crystal, you're correct. It's a period of time. Okay, kaya 'pag ginawa niyo yung ano, yung income statement 'di ba nakalagay, either uh, for the period ended, for the year ended, indicating that yung income statement, it's an accumulation of the records taken at a period of time. It can be weekly, it can be monthly, etc. How about the balance sheet class? Ano makikita natin sa balance sheet? What do you find in the balance sheet? Again, kung pwede niyong mag-unmute na lang kayo, class, Anyone? The balance sheet class gives us what? Tells us of the it's a FP of the firm at a specific what? Anyone, please? Ano ba yung makikita natin sa balance sheet?
Financial position po.
Yeah, that's correct, no? Thank you. It tells us of the financial position of the firm at a specific point in time. Okay? So, yun ang kaibahan ng income statement at balance sheet. Sa income statement, ang makikita natin yung mga operating results items, sales, cost of sales, expenses, lahat ng mga maybe extraordinary income, net loss, etc. Lahat ng mga yon goes to the income statement. On the other hand, and we call them nominal accounts, no? I'm sure you have learned this in your, yeah, thank you, Jasmine, financial position. I'm sure you have learned this in your accounting. They are temporary accounts or nominal accounts kasi at the end of the period, kino-close yan, like sales, cost of goods sold, etc. On the other hand, see balance sheet, position, financial position, these accounts are your real accounts. So, hindi siya klino-close na yung mga real accounts na to. And they tell us of the financial position of the firm at a specific point in time. So what are the accounts that you will see in the balance sheet class? Anyone? Anong mga accounts ang makikita natin sa balance sheet?
Cash po.
Cash. So yung cash form part of your
Asset.
okay, take a look at the fundamental accounting equation, di ba? Assets. So you have your assets. Oops. Problema tong ano ko. Ayaw. Anyway, assets, liabilities, and equity. So yung tatlong accounts na yon can be found in your balance sheet. Assets. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Jasmine. Assets, liabilities, and equity. Yun ang makikita natin sa balance sheet. Okay, how about sa cash flow class? Tells us of the what class? Ano makikita natin class sa ano? Anyone? Here you can see the ayaw ah. Tinitingnan ko lang class yung ano ah. Yung Okay. Tells us of the okay. So, ano to class? Tells us of the S and U of the firm. Inflows and outflows, yes, correct. Inflows and outflows, that's correct. Or, ano yung S and U class? Related yan sa inflows at saka outflows, yung S and U. Tells us of the inflow class. Ano yung another word for inflow? Yung pinanggagalingan ng cash. Sales. Okay, more supply. Okay, okay, medyo synonymous siya, no? Pero let's put a more generic term. S. Yung pinanggagalingan ng cash. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Gudito. That's the, yeah, thank you, Mary. Meron pang isa, no, nag-source. Sino pa? Jasmine, thank you. Okay. So it tells us of the sources and uses of funds. When you say funds, cash to, no? So, yung statement of cash flows, makikita natin dyan, saan ba nanggaling yung cash at saka saan ginamit yung cash. Sources and uses of funds from the, ano to class? Blank, blank, and blank. Anyone? Okay. Yeah, thank you, Terence. That's correct. No? It's from the operating, investing, and financing activities. Okay? So pag tinignan nyo, class, yung statement of cash flows, makikita nyo tatlong main parts dyan. Number one, sources and uses of cash from operating activities. Pangalawa, sources and uses of cash from investing activities. And third, sources and uses of cash from financing activities. All right. So what you do in the statement of cash flows is that we break down the activities of the firm and classify it into sources, into investing, into operating, investing, and financing. Okay, yun ang laman ng statement of cash flows. Okay? And then statement of operating, investing, financing activities of the firm at a specific period of time din yan, no? Period of time. Okay, so that takes into account the statement of cash flows. And then panghuli class, statement of owner's equity. It just tells us, class, of anong binibigay sa atin ng owner's equity statement. It tells us of the movement of the owner's equity from the beginning of a period. Kung ano yung how your owner's equity increased, what increased your owner's equity, and what decreased your owner's equity. Yun ang makikita natin sa statement of either statement of capital or statement of owner's equity. Okay? Now, just a note, class, pag single proprietorship, yung own na yan, owners, ganito yan, owners, R apostrophe, no? Owner's equity. Kasi, iisa lang yung may-ari. Pagdating ng partnership at saka ng corporation, baliktad, no? Yung apostrophe natin, S muna, tas apostrophe. Okay, so just be aware of that, no? Pag single proprietorship, owners, R apostrophe S, equity. Kapag partnership or corporation, owners, RS, and then apostrophe, equity. Okay, so from here, class, when we get the, when we have the balance sheet, the income statement, the statement of cash flows, etc., this these statements are now used in generating financial ratios. Ito na yon, no? Sandali ah. Okay. So by definition, ano yung financial ratios? Okay? Financial ratios is a tool that's used in order to analyze the performance of the firm as compared to the past. Okay? Its past performance and the performance of other firms in the same industry. So ang financial ratios class, it allows us to analyze the or assess the performance of the firm. Gaano ba kahusay yung pag-perform ng firm o yung operations nila from different angles, no? So sa financial ratios, may mga titingnan tayo dito ng mga angles by which we will assess the performance of the firm. So first, we're going to take a look at some ratios like liquidity ratios. So ito na yung iba't ibang klase ng financial ratios, no? Ang unang titingnan natin is liquidity ratios. Okay? So as I said here, okay, sorry tanggalin ko na nga itong mga. All right. Now, so there are different types of ratios, no? So there are liquidity ratios, there are asset management ratios, merong profitability ratios, merong debt ratios, okay, merong market value ratios, several types of ratios. We're going to look at some of them. And ang main goal natin dito is to be able to assess yung performance ng company, kung okay ba yung performance ng company. Was the company able to make full use of its resources? Okay, if you recall, sabi natin sa klase, yung assets, these are resources that a firm uses. Now, yung assets na yan, either provided yan, invested by or financed by the owners in the form of equity, or it can be financed by the creditors, no? yung liability. All in all, pag inad natin siya, yung equity plus the liability, that sums up to be your total assets. Okay? Now, just a quick reminder here. Ang isang ratio, okay, kaya ang tawag sa kanya ratio kasi kino-compute natin yan, tapos dinidivide natin usually yan. It's the result of a quotient, no? Now, walang meaning yung ratio taken in isolation. So dapat any ratio that we're going to compute for or generate should be, the operative word class should be benchmark. No? Dapat bine-benchmark natin yan. Okay, so kunyari, nag-solve tayo ng isang ratio. Kunyari, liquidity ratio. In particular, current ratio. No? So, sabihin natin, which we're going to discuss now, sabihin natin ang current ratio is 2. Okay. That number 2 does not have any meaning at all unless it's benchmarked. So as I said, the operative word here is benchmark. Ano ibig sabihin ng benchmark? I-compare mo yung 2 na yan dun sa previous years. Okay. So ang 2 ba, okay ba yan o hindi? Well, we cannot say, no? We cannot say. Dapat tingnan natin magkano yung current ratio last year. So if it was 1.5, then masasabi natin nag-increase yung current ratio, no? Okay? And saka natin ma-determine kung good siya or bad siya. As it is, just like that, current ratio is equal to 2. We cannot overread. We cannot put too much meaning on that. Not only do we benchmark it against the previous year, we should also benchmark it against the current ratio, in this case, of other companies. Okay, kunyari, ano ka? Your company is Globe. That ratio, current ratio 2, does not have any meaning. It will only have a meaning kung kinompare mo siya last year, magkano ba? The past 2 years, 3 years ago. Okay, that's one, no? That's one way by which to give meaning to that current ratio. Another way is, kung ang current ratio ng Globe ngayong 2023 is 2, what you do is to compare that with Smart. Okay. So is Globe performing well? We cannot answer that, no? In terms of current ratio. So we have to get the current ratio of Smart. If the current ratio of Smart is 2.3, for example, then we can say that Globe pales in comparison with respect to, in relation to Smart with respect to current ratio. Talo ni Smart si Globe in terms of current ratio. Kasi 2 si Globe, tapos 2.3 si Smart. Okay, class, I hope you got the important concept of benchmarking. Kasi in the next few days, magko-compute tayo, no? Simple lang naman yung computation. Ang importante dito yung interpretation. As I said, hindi pa pwedeng bigyan lang natin ng meaning yung isang isolated na number na yan. We will have to take it into context. Yung context yan yung benchmarking. Saan natin siya i-compare? Saan natin siya i-benchmark? Benchmark against previous values, okay? And then benchmark against the industry competitor. Okay, so let's go now to the next slide, no? So, ang mga titingnan natin na ratios, number 1, liquidity. Then we have asset management ratios. Asset management ratios, and then we have debt ratio. Debt ratios, and then profitability ratios din, tingnan natin. And then also market value ratios. Okay, so these are the 5 basic types of ratios that we're going to look into in this subject. Liquidity, asset management, debt, profitability, and market value ratios. Okay. Okay, let's start first with liquidity. Si liquidity, meron siyang dalawang klase, no? Meron tayong current ratio, tsaka meron tayong acid test or quick ratio. Okay, so ito yung dalawang klaseng liquidity ratios na titingnan natin. Current ratio at saka acid test ratio or quick ratio. Okay, anong question ang sinasagot ni liquidity? Pag sinabi natin liquid, class, any idea? What is the meaning of liquidity in the context of a company's performance? Anyone? Although andyan na yung sagot, no? Okay. Pwedeng pa-unmute na lang, class, please. Amanda, paki-unmute, please. Anong sabi mo?
Being a business being liquid means being able to pay off their dues right away.
Okay, that's correct. No, however, qualify lang natin 'yun, ha. Kasi maraming klaseng dues, no, yung mga utang. Meron tayong short-term na utang that will become due in the next few weeks, in the next months, up to 1 year, no? Tapos meron naman long-term. Pag sinasabi nating liquidity, class, ang tinitingnan natin diyan yung short-term debt. Kasi pag long-term yung tinitingnan natin, ang tawag doon solvency. Okay, so magkaiba siya, no? Pag liquidity, ang tinitingnan lang natin, the firm's capability to pay its short-term debt when they fall due. Pag sinabi mong short-term, yung magiging due lang in the next year, no? Within 1 year. Yun ang short-term. Yun ang ina-address ni liquidity. Now, kapag long-term na, that will be now solvency. Okay, so magkaiba siya, no? So liquidity, ang tinitingnan natin dito yung mga current debt lang, yung mga short-term debt. So liquidity ratios address how liquid is the firm. Again, take note class, yung sinabi natin liquid, capability of the firm to pay off its short-term ST, short-term obligations. No? Short-term obligations as they fall due. Kung may utang next month, na kailangan bayaran next month, may utang 3 months from now up to 1 year. No? Yun ang short-term obligations. Okay? Kung kaya niya magbayad on time ng mga bills niya, yung mga short-term obligations, then masasabi natin the company is financially liquid. Okay? So ganun lang class yung concept, ha? Pag yung utang na babayaran yung short term lang in the near future lang, then ang tanong diyan, liquid ba yung firm? Kaya ba niya? O kailangan pa ba ng firm umutang ng short term na debt, no? Para mabayaran niya yung short term obligations niya. Okay? Also, we look at solvency, liquidity in terms of the ability of the firm to convert assets into cash. Okay. May tanong ako class, saan natutunan niyo sa sa accounting niyo? Ano yung dalawang main classifications ng assets?
Current and non-current.
Yes, correct. Thank you. Tama, no? Current assets at saka non-current assets. Okay. How are assets arranged, class? Pag tinignan mo yung balance sheet, okay? Pag tinignan natin yung balance sheet, may hindi lang alphabetical yung pagsulat ng cash, no? Ng ano na una, current or non-current? So ano yung rule on that, no? And yung current, iba't ibang klase kasi yan. How do you arrange? Non-current assets, ganun din, iba't ibang klase. How do you arrange that class?
Based on the liquidity.
Yes, correct, no? Based on liquidity. So current assets class is arranged according to liquidity. Ito yung term na yon, no? Ano ibig sabihin ng liquidity natin dito? Class. The more liquid an asset is, the more easy it is to convert into cash. Yun ang ibig sabihin yan. Okay, let's take a look, for example, at, can you see what I'm writing when I'm writing here, class? Kita niyo ba yung sulat ko na CA? Class, kita?
Yes, sir.
Alright, sige. Ano yung mga iba't ibang klaseng current assets, class? Review to ng accounting nyo. Ano yung composition ng current assets? Okay, may nag-chat. Kung pwede class, wag na lang mag-chat, mag-ano na lang. Okay, sige. Accounts receivable, ano pa? Sulat natin. Accounts receivable, ano pa, class?
Cash po.
Okay, sandali ha. Ano yung pen ko? Okay, AR, accounts receivable, cash, ano pa? What else, class? Form part of your current assets. Anyone, class? Ano yung composition ng current assets?
Inventory.
Inventories, okay. Ano pa?
Securities.
Okay, short-term investments or marketable securities. Okay, ano pa?
Prepaid expenses po,
Okay,
sir.
prepayments, no? Okay, yung limang 'yan. Ito yung limang klase ng ng current assets. As against the non-current assets, no? Yung NCA. Okay. Now, sa balance sheet class, how is this arranged? Paano naka-arrange sa balance sheet? Anyone, please? Anyone, please? Paano ina-arrange to sa balance sheet? Itong 5 types ng current assets na to. You're correct. It's arranged according to liquidity. So, sino yung number 1 dito, class? Sino yung unang
Cash
makikita mo? Okay, ito yung number 1, class. Kasi cash na to class eh. Hindi mo na kailangan i-convert to cash. And sometimes others include cash and cash equivalents. No? Ano yung pangalawa, class?
Accounts receivable.
AR. Before AR is marketable securities. Kasi marketable securities, class, mga investments sa mga securities to in short term. Kunyari, treasury bill. Yung treasury bill na yan, class, depende sa tenor, pwedeng 30-day yan 30 days. Tapos makukuha mo na siya, mako-convert mo na siya in cash. Or sometimes you can trade it. No? Kunyari, magjuju pa siya after 1 month. Pwede mong ibenta yan sa market. So, mako-convert mo kagad into cash yan. Unlike yung AR, class, depende pa sa kliyente niya yan. No? May AR na minsan, nagiging bad account pa, di ba? So, marketable securities is more liquid than AR. Pangatlo tong AR, no? Okay? And then, ano yung pang-apat, class?
Inventory.
Okay, may question ako. Kunyari, manufacturing company tayo, no? Gumagawa tayo ng, let's say, cars, no? Kunyari, Tesla tayo, Tesla. We're into electric cars. All right? Then, sa office, gumagamit ng bond paper. Yung natitirang bond paper na hindi natin nagamit, ano yun? Inventory ba yun, class? Yes or no, class? Ano na lang, kung pwede, huwag na lang mag-chat please, ano na lang ha. Amanda, no why?
No, sir.
Bakit? Bakit hindi siya inventory?
I think it supplies, sir.
Okay. Hindi ba siya sa inventory supplies?
Sir, inventory is for like the products, like the Tesla cars. I'm not sure, I
Okay.
forgot.
All right. So ang inventory, class, these are items held for sale. Okay? Pag ang intention natin, yung bond paper na yan, class, pwede maging inventory yan. Kung bookstore tayo or supply store. So meron tayong bond paper dyan, which binili natin kunyari, no? From whatever source. Tapos ang intention natin is to sell that. So inventory siya, no? So ang inventory, class, 3 klase. What have you learned from your accounting? So 3 level siya, 3 klaseng inventory. So we have this one, we have this one, and we have this one. So familiar tayo no sa yung mga accounts na to. Ano to, class? Ano to? Ano to? So 3 types of inventory to. And they are all considered as part of inventory. Diba? Cash, marketable securities number 2, AR3, number 4 is inventory. Ano to, class? Yung 3 klase ng inventory. Anyone? What is RM?
Raw materials po.
Okay, tama. Raw materials, raw materials ang mga binebenta natin, no? Kunyari kung Tesla tayo, all the raw materials that was acquired in order to manufacture si Tesla, in order to sell it, inventory yon. Ano yung WIP?
Sir, work in progress.
Correct,
Po.
work in progress. That's correct, no? Thank you, Jarzi. Okay, thank you, Jasmine. Okay. All right, work in process or work in progress, pareho lang yon, no? And then the last one is
Finished
yung huli?
goods po.
Finished goods. Okay, you're correct. So itong 3 to, class, those are the types of inventory and they will all fall under current assets. Okay? And then lastly, number 5 is ito na yung mga prepaid natin. Mga prepayments. All right? So, okay. Now, take note, pag may utang yung company na short-term debt, okay? short-term debt, no? Ano yung ine-expect na nagpautang sa atin na ibabayad natin? What does the company that lent us, our company, expect to be paid with, class? Answer is? Answer is, class? Answer is letter C. Siyempre, ganun din ina-expect nyo pag may nangutang sa inyo, di ba? Tapos babayaran na kayo. Ano to, class? Paki-unmute na lang para to answer, class. Simple-simple ito. Ano to?
Cash po.
Of course, thank you, cash. Siyempre, class, cash. Di ba? Nangutang ka ng cash. They expect you to pay back in cash. Yan. So when we talk of liquidity ratios, ang tanong dyan, enough ba yung cash natin para bayaran yung yung mga short-term obligations natin? That in a nutshell, class, is the meaning of liquidity. Pag hindi liquid yung company, ibig sabihin, pwedeng yung pwedeng yung current assets nila, pwedeng karamihan yan nasa inventory pa, no? O imagine Boeing tayo, no? Boeing, the company Boeing, class, gumagawa ng airplanes yun. Okay. To say that Boeing is not liquid means that much of their current assets is either in inventory or in receivables. Now, ang tanong kasi, how long can you convert receivables or inventory into cash? Yun ang tanong dun no? So it boils down to the quality, no? Quality ng asset ng company. So kailangan natin ng cash para bayaran yung short-term debt. Now, but caveat, class, this is a warning. Okay? Hindi rin maganda na lahat ng assets natin nasa cash. Okay? Baka sabihin natin, ay maganda na lang kung lahat ng nasa asset natin nasa cash. Eh kung nasa cash lahat yan, eh paano yung inventory nyo? Diba? So kailangan may tamang balance yan. Yung ibang assets dapat naka-invest sa inventory, naka-invest sa marketable securities, okay? Naka-invest sa AR, ibig sabihin kasi nakapagbenta na tayo, tapos for collection na yan, no? Kasi kung walang inventory, walang AR, ibig sabihin nun, wala tayong collectible. So hindi rin maganda na lahat naka-cash, no? Very liquid ka nga, pero you're not considering the future of the firm. Okay, so yun ang isang wrong reason, no? Na sige, i-convert na lang na assets into cash. Yung AR, wag na magbenta para walang AR, para wag na mag-invest sa inventory para lahat ng pera nasa cash na lang, no? All right, so when I say quality, class, how quickly can the firm convert its assets into cash? Ito, no? This one. Okay? So may mga AR, class, na good quality naman, so madaling i-collect. Or for example, may AR ka with San Miguel Corporation. You do business with San Miguel Corporation. Si San Miguel, nagbabayad dyan, kaso nga lang, minsan mahaba yung terms. Kunyari, makukuha mo pa yung cash mo 3 months pa. Kailangan mo na magbayad bukas. So anong gagawin mo? May mga mechanism para, kunyari, yung AR, ibenta mo sa iba. Pwede mo siyang i-discount. Kunyari, may AR ka with San Miguel na, kunyari, the amount is, may 1 million ka. May 1 million peso ka na collectible with San Miguel, AR. Pero ito, in 90 days pa, 3 months. Kailangan mo na bukas ng 1 million. So anong pwede mong gawin? Okay? Based on this notes mo, kunyari notes receivable siya, no? With San Miguel, you can sell that. Pwede mong mabenta sa isang interested na mabilihin yan. Kunyari, ibebenta mo siya at 990. Okay, so may tubo yung bibili ng 10,000. Tapos makukuha niya yan sa after 90 days, no? Pero ikaw, anong nangyari? Binenta mo yung receivables mo, Tapos makakuha ka ng cash ngayon na 990. Mababayaran mo, konti na lang yung kulang mo, no? Okay? So that's what we mean by the quality of the asset. Kasi pwedeng yung AR mo, paano kung mga collectible mo galing sa nagbenta ka sa isang company na magba-bankrupt na? Patay, no? 'Di ba? Magba-bankrupt na yung company na yun. Paano pa mako-collect yun? Or paano mo maibebenta yung AR na yan, receivable na yan sa ibang company? Ang sasabihin nila, "Eh, ba't ko bibilhin yan? Eh, mababankrupt na yung company niyan, eh," 'di ba? So, either you sell it at a steep discount. Kunyari, "Sige, bilhin mo na lang at 500,000." 'Pag gano'n, siguro mag-iisip pa yung buyer, "Ay, 500,000 na lang, tapos puwede ko makuha ito at 1 million." Mga gano'ng things, class, no? So that has something to do with the quality of the current assets, no? Sandali class, sandali lang, may ano. Okay, sorry about that, class. Okay, so let's go now to the computation itself, no? Ito yung mini-mention ko kanina, no, yung overall, yung liquidity class is the capability of the firm to pay its current obligations, yung mga short-term debts nila as they fall due. Kung magiging due na in 1 week's time, may sufficient cash ba yung company para bayaran yon? So liquidity is a measure of the firm's capability to pay its short-term obligations, no? And then also it's a measure of how the nature or the quality of the assets for them to convert yung mga current assets or even other assets into cash. So kung yung sabi natin nga yung example natin, kung Boeing tayo, no? Tapos may inventory tayo ng mga plane parts, mga airplanes, eh hindi naman basta-basta nabebenta yon, no? It's unlike a retail store na every now and then may mga bumibili. Okay? So depende 'yun sa company, depende 'yun sa nature ng assets niya. Kaya nga class, sabi natin, ang financial ratio analysis dapat i-compare natin yung performance ng company sa isang competitor. Kasi of course, you will not compare McDonald's with mga airline or let's say mga other companies in chemical companies, no? Hindi pa pwede. Kasi magkaiba yung nature ng business nila, eh. So, kung iko-compare mo si PAL, compare mo si PAL with Cebu Pacific, okay? Or internationally, compare mo si PAL with Thai Airways, with Singapore Airlines, Thai or whatever, no? Basta dapat nasa same industry sila. Okay, clear so far, class? Hello? Feedback please kung clear so far.
Yes po, sir.
So So, yung liquidity ratios class, sabi natin, na-discuss ko na to, no? Ability ng debtor, yung may utang, to pay its current obligations. And take note, without raising external capital, yung hindi ka ulit mangungutang, no? Okay, so actually dalawa lang dapat to, no? Sinama din natin DSO dito. But we have here quick ratio. Una muna current ratio, quick ratio, and then this is more part of your asset management ratio, itong day sales outstanding. Okay, sige, tingnan muna natin class yung unang-una, yung liquidity ratios. Napakasimple nito class, no? Liquidity ratio, in particular current ratio, it's just the ratio of the current assets over current liabilities. Okay, so we identified what current assets are. Yung current liabilities, these are obligations that will become due within 1 year. So, pag kinuha natin yung ratio niyan, for example, no? Kunyari, ang current assets natin 200, ang current liabilities natin 100. Then we have now a current ratio equal to 2 or 2 times, no? Sometimes they use 2 times or 2 lang, no? Okay, so 2, ano ibig sabihin nito? What we can only interpret here is the basic definition. It means that for every peso of current liability, di ba kasi 2 over 1 yan di ba? Sa bawat piso ng current liability na meron yung company, meron siyang 2 pesos ng current assets para bayaran yung obligation niya. Okay, ganun lang yung class. Napakasimple ng definition ng current ratio. Current ratio is simply how much current assets does the company have in order to pay its current liabilities. However, class, okay? However, medyo the number 2 does not mean that the company is capable, is well capable. Kasi, di ba sabi natin that we have to look at this in a magnifying glass, no? Kailangan titingnan pa natin sa isang magnifying glass itong 2 na to, no? Kasi baka yung current assets natin dito, example, 1 lang yung 1 yung cash, maybe 2 yung marketable securities, 90 yung AR, and then 90 yung inventory. So that's 183, tapos 17 yung prepayments, no? So kunyari class, ganito yung composition ng current assets natin. Ang total niyan 200, di ba? Okay. Pero does that mean that the company is really capable? Not necessarily. Okay, kasi 1 lang yung 1 lang yung cash niya. Short-term investment niya 2 lang. Now, what if yung AR niya, marami dito magbabad accounts, no? Ibig sabihin ng bad accounts, malamang hindi na makokolekta. Pag hindi na makokolekta to, tapos sabihin natin 90 inventory, nasa nasa raw materials pa lang. Wala pa yan sa work in process, wala pa yan sa sa finished goods. Matagal pa, no? 17 prepayments to no? Madalang naman yung mga prepayments na convert into cash. Example niyan, prepaid na supplies. Kunyari yung yung mga bond paper. Alam nga naman ibebenta natin bond paper na hindi naman yung negosyo ng company. So, technically parang 3 lang yung nito, 3 lang yung available cash talaga. Sabi natin itong 2 na to, yung marketable securities, madali na siyang i-convert, no? So, technically 3 over 100 yan So that's 0.03. So sa bawat piso ng current liabilities ng company, meron lang siyang 3 centavos para bayaran yung current liability na yun. So, anong moral of the lesson dun? Do not read too much on the current ratio. Kasi ang sinasabi lang yan, sa bawat piso ng current liability, meron tayong current assets na na 2. Capable ba yung company? Capable ba yung company? Maybe not. Maybe yes, maybe no. So how do you answer that? You have to look at the quality ng current assets ng company. Hindi automatic na kayang-kaya magbayad ng company ng utang nila. That's wrong, no? Kailangan analyze further and take a look at the composition of the current assets. Okay, paki-chat nga please class kung naiintindihan, kung na kukuha yung explanation ko. Hindi ko sigurado class kasi I'm not getting some feedback from you. Paki-chat, please, kung naiintindihan yung explanation natin. Okay, thank you. How about the others? Okay, a few more seconds for the others to respond. Okay, good. Good. Okay, so class yung yung sa financial ratios, simple yung mga formulas, no? Hindi siya no big deal. Napaka-basic na mga formulas. Ang ano dito, ang labanan class yung interpretation. Okay? Okay. Well, let's go to the next one. Ito example class, no? You have this ito yung balance sheet, yung current assets ng company. Meron siyang cash, marketable securities, net accounts receivable, inventories, wala siyang prepayments. So ang total current assets niya is 47,695. Ang current liabilities niya, ito, may accounts payable siya, meron siyang loan from the bank 11,375. So ang total current liabilities niya 28,75. Okay. So therefore, if you get the ratio of your current assets, itong lahat na to, 47,695 divided by 28,875, which is your current liability, ang current ratio is 2.28. So ano ibig sabihin yan? For every 1 peso of current liability, the company has 2.28 in current assets. Can the company pay its obligations? Yes and no, no? Yes and no. Depende. Theoretically, pwede dapat. Kaso, if you take a look at this, a big chunk of its assets is still receivables. 16 at saka 26, that's around 43, no? 43,000. So ang natitira, 4,000 lang, assuming na ang marketable securities nito readily converted into cash. So mga 4,550 lang, no? So napakaliit class ng ng readily available cash. But if the accounts receivable are to be collected, okay, before the short-term obligations become due, and then the quality of the AR is good, then walang problema, no? Okay? Ang magiging problema lang itong inventories. Kapag merchandising lang, okay lang 'yun kasi itong inventories pwede namang maibenta kaagad yan kung sakali, no? Pero kapag manufacturing, okay, na ang inventories niya composed of raw materials, work in process, and finished goods, medyo baka mahirap, no? Kasi kung 26,000 yan. Alright? Clear class tayo sa explanation? Class? Paki-chat naman, please. Okay, thank you. All right, good. Sige, let's proceed, class. Okay. Ito, no? So, may konting discussion dito. Current ratio is 2.28. For every 1 peso of current liability, may 2.28 na worth of current assets. Okay? So, if the company has a short-term debt tomorrow, they would not have any difficulty. Ito, class, ano to take it with with yung sinasabi natin yung theoretically lang yan, no? Assuming na yung 2.28 na yan readily converted into cash. Okay? So may note lang din tayo dito na usually yung mga banks may certain standard na na current ratio na sinusunod, no? So kunyari, manghihiram ka sa bangko, titingnan nila yung yung position mo, yung current ratio mo. So they would prefer na ang current ratio is 2:1. Okay? However, class, lang yan parang standard lang yan kasi depende sa industry pa rin yan. Sa ibang industry, mas rine-require nila na mas mataas yung current ratio. Kasi nga yung movement ng inventory might be slower, especially for companies that are into long-term manufacturing. Kunyari, yung kotse, yung paggagawa ng kotse, paggagawa ng mga malalaking machines. Yung example ko kanina, airplanes, no? Hindi naman yan, kagagawa mo lang ngayon, tapos na kagad bukas. Yung Airbus, it takes 2 years to deliver the order. Kunyari, si Philippines, bibili kay Airbus ng a certain model ng Airbus. In-order na yun ngayon, tapos it will take 2 years, even sometimes 3 years, no? For the delivery. Hindi, they do not keep an inventory of those machines. Okay. In general, the higher the current ratio, the stronger the company is. Okay, in general lang yan, class. But again, these statements have to be clarified or qualified. Okay, these are just motherhood statements, overall statements. Okay, next, quick ratio. Okay, itong quick ratio, class, mas ano to, mas sabi nating mas strict na interpretation ng ano, ng liquidity. So ang ginagawa dito, class, it's yung ano natin, yung numerator natin. So quick ratio, another name for this is acid test ratio. Acid test. Okay? So ang ano dito, ang quick ratio, ang numerator natin is cash plus marketable securities. Yung dalawa lang na to, class, divided by current liabilities. So ang sinasama lang natin sa quick ratio, cash and marketable securities. And you know why, class? Bakit itong dalawa lang to? Kasi ito na yung pinaka-liquid dun sa mga current assets natin. Sabihin natin ito na yung si cash, of course, cash na yan eh. Pwede na natin magamit yan for payment. Si marketable securities, we can may mga marketable securities, kunyari 90-day lang, we can easily convert it. Kung tradable siya, pwede natin ibenta sa market. Okay? Unlike yung inventories at saka yung prepayments. All right. So back to our balance sheet here in current assets, current liabilities. So dito sa quick ratio, ang kasama lang, class, is ito, no? At saka itong marketable securities. So that's 2,550 plus 2,000. Yun lang yung kasama niya. Or you can work it backwards, no? Yung total minus itong dalawang to. Pareho lang yon. Divided by our current liability, which is 20,875, yung total. Yan. So of course, the acid test ratio or the quick ratio will generally be lower than your quick ratio. Kasi ang current ratio, kasi ang current ratio kasama dun yung ano eh, yung all the current assets. Pero si quick ratio, limited yung kasama sa kanya. So ito 1.02 lang, no? 1.02 times. Tama ba to? Ay, sorry class ha. I stand corrected, no? Nagkamali ako. Kasama, class, yung ano kasama yung AR. So plus, sorry, my mistake. Plus, ano yung AR? AR is 16,675. Okay? Cash ratio pala yung sinasabi ko. So, if we add AR, accounts receivable, then our quick ratio will now be 1.02. Okay? 1.02. So barely enough, no? Barely enough to pay our current obligations. So ito, para lumalabas na sa bawat piso ng short-term debt, meron lang tayong 1.02 ng quick assets, which includes cash, marketable securities, at saka yung receivables. Okay, so is this good or not, class? We cannot say just by looking at this, no? What we can say is that sa bawat piso ng short-term liability, meron tayong 1.02 na quick assets. Now, how do we say if this is good or bad? Tingnan mo yung ano, kunyari, this is 2023, no? Sabi natin, di ba, ibe-benchmark natin to. Dalawang benchmarking, no? With respect to time, okay. So last year, kunyari, 2022, ang quick ratio natin is 1.5. Noong 2021, it was 1.3. Okay, so if you take a look at the trend, no? Baguhin ko. Sige, ito na lang. So we can say, class, that nag-deteriorate, no? Tumaas ng 2022 from 1.3 naging 1.5. Sabi natin 1.7 to, no? Dramatize natin example. 1.7 noong 2021, 2022 naging 1.5, 2023 naging 1.02 na lang. So here we can say that the liquidity of the firm based on quick ratio is deteriorating over time. Ayun, masasabi na natin kung good or bad kasi meron na tayong bine-benchmark eh. Tinitingnan natin over time. So, let's say ito yung 2021, 2022, 2023. Ito yung quick ratio. So, andi dito yung 1.7, 1.5, and ito yung 1.02. So, here, then here, and then here. So if you take a look at our plot, no, pabagsak yung ano natin, quick ratio. Then we can say now that the company is performing poorly with respect to liquidity kasi mas kumukonti na lang yung capability niya to pay its current obligations. And then not only with respect to time, also with respect to the competitor. So if your competitor has been, let's say, 2.1 siya, tapos 2.3, tapos again 2.4, no? Nag-i-increase yung quick ratio niya over time. So in terms of benchmarking with the direct competitor, talo tayo ng ano ng competitor natin. In terms of past performance, bagsak din yung past performance natin. So pag ganyan, kailangan i-analyze na yan. Usually yung controller, no? Ang function kasi ng analysis nito, finance yan, not really accounting, no? So pag may finance at saka may accounting, ang nasa technical na pag-analysis is sa finance. Okay, so makikita ng finance dito. So ang question, anyari, class, no? What has been happening? So ito na yung gamit ngayon ng financial ratio analysis. It will seek now to answer the question, what has been happening the past nagkakaroon ba ng pilferage sa inventory ng company? Okay, o nagkakaroon ba ng non-repeat orders? Sabihin natin may maraming customer complaints na napapasok din si marketing, no? May maraming mga complaints. And so, hindi tumataas yung sales, no? Hindi tumataas yung sales, hindi nagpi-pick up yung receivables. Ayun, so that's part of the story. Okay? So, parang sabihin natin 1/10 of the story lang yung pag-compute. The other 9 parts of the story is asking the question why. Why is this happening? So ganun class yung financial statements, financial ratio analysis, no? Yung pag-compute is very easy, simple arithmetic lang yan. Yung tanong ngayon na bakit ganyan nangyayari, no? O kaya it can be the reverse. Kunyari, sabi natin ito, si company B tumataas yung current yung quick ratio. So what good thing have they been doing? So siguro anong nangyayari, tumataas yung receivables sila kasi nagkakaroon sila ng repeat customers, maganda yung yung service o maganda yung product, nagugustuhan ng mga customers, bumibili yung mga customers based on WOM, yung word of mouth, no? The current customers now become the marketers for the company. Sila na yung nagiging living advertisers ng company. Word of mouth, sinasabi ng isang tao, ay bumili ka dyan kasi ang ganda ng product nila. Okay? So there's a story behind this, no? So hindi lang numbers to. Ang tinitingnan natin dito dapat yung story behind what's happening. Yun ang pinaka-challenge, class. Kasi yung computation, sinong Anybody can do this, no? Anybody can do this. Pero as to the analysis, kailangan yan getting also information from the other departments, no? Para mapagtagpi-tagpi yung kwento. Okay, let me pause for a while. How is it so far, class, yung discussion natin? Clear ba yung concept ng current ratio at saka quick ratio? Class? Okay, good. I hope the others are able to follow along, no? Sana yung iba, nakikita nila yung importance ng financial ratios, in particular to management. Kaya importante sa management to, yung mag-a-analyze, no? Okay. All right. So, same thing lang to. Okay. So, this is just a discussion of the quick ratio, no? Diniscuss natin to. And of course, the higher the quick ratio, the stronger the company is. So, the higher, ito yung sinasabi natin na benchmarking against the past years. No? Kasi paano natin masasabi na higher kung hindi mo kino-compare, di ba? So masasabi mo lang na higher kung kinompare mo siya sa previous performance or kinompare mo siya sa current performance ng isang competitor. That's the only time we can say that it's higher. Kasi pag sinabi mo kunyari 2.28 na current ratio, higher ba yan o lower? Malay natin, di ba? Kasi isolated na figure yan eh. Okay? Alright, sige. Okay, so quickly lang to, no? Babalikan natin tong measure na to. Kasi I will need really a lot of time for this, no? Okay, so i-discuss ko lang yung formula and then babalikan natin to in a greater detail kasi may tatlong measures, class, no? May tatlong measures na titingnan natin next meeting na, no? Next meeting natin titingnan yan. Related to DSO, meron tayong DIO, at saka DPO, no? Ito, pamilya ng mga ratios to, which personally I feel should be under the asset management ratio. Dito linagay yan sa liquidity ratios, no? Ako mas linalagay ko to sa asset management ratio. All right, so we'll be discussing this next meeting. By the way, next meeting, di ba, nag-announce na na online tayo, which is in a sense good for us kasi at least mas yung discussion through the PowerPoint at saka examples mas magiging mabilis, no? All right, days sales outstanding. Ang formula niya AR, okay, divided by sales, okay? Sales divided by number of operating days. Operating days. Ano yung operating days? Kunyari, a company operates on every Monday to Saturday. So tatanggalin natin yung 50 na Sundays, no? So that's around, kung 360 minus 50, around 310 kunyari lang, no? O sabihin natin 300 days. Yun yung operating days ng company. If the company operates daily, so 365 to, no? Okay? So yung number of operating days is the number of days a year the company operates. So what do you get, class, if you divide sales by the operating days? Can you tell me, class, please? Ano tong figure na to? Sales divided by number of operating days per year. What do you get? Yes, what do you call that figure? Yes, thank you, Peter. That's correct, no? Good. That will be your daily sales or sales per day, no? Now, yung accounts receivable, pag dinivide mo siya ng daily sales, meron tayong tinatawag na DSO, Daily Sales Outstanding. And next meeting, pag-aaralan natin, no? Ano ba yung DSO na yan? DSO, as the name suggests, days to, no? So, let me just quickly plot and then we'll call it a day. Kasi magta-time na rin, no? I will not want to discuss this further kasi kukulangan talaga tayo ng time. So, yung company bumili, no? Bumili ng raw material, manufacture, convert into finished product, and then binenta. No? Binenta niya. Okay, ang tawag natin dyan, class, sa number of days na yan, from buying raw materials, converting into finished goods, up to selling it, class, we call this days sales outstanding. Yun, no? Number of days. Okay, what do you think, class? Quick answer lang. The higher the DSO, the better, or the lower the better, generally? What do you think? Okay, the lower, okay. Yeah, in a sense, no? In a sense. Okay, sorry, Okay, I'll stand corrected, class, no? Nagkamali lang ako ng pag-ano. Hindi siya day sales outstanding. Sorry, class, sorry. My mistake. This is not day sales outstanding. This is days inventory outstanding. Okay? So bumili ng raw materials, convert into finished goods, binenta. No? That's day sales, days inventory outstanding. Now from selling up to collecting, ito yung day sales outstanding. Okay, sorry na ano lang ako na I got myself confused. Okay, DIO, DSO. Ano yung DIO? Ilang araw, class, ilang araw bibili ng raw materials, i-convert into finished goods, ibebenta. Okay? And I saw an answer a while ago that the lower the better. In a sense, class, tama yun. The lower the better. Bakit? Ibig sabihin, mabilis yung velocity ng production natin. Okay? Kunyari, you have company A. Ang days inventory outstanding niya, let's say 90 days. Si company B, ang days inventory outstanding niya 120. Okay, so who do you think is performing better? Si company A or si company B? Natural ka si company A. Why company A? Kasi it takes company A lesser days to buy raw materials, convert it into finished goods, and then sell. Okay? And then from the selling up to the collecting, na-collect yung receivables, ang tawag dyan, DSO, Day Sales Outstanding. Ganon din sa Day Sales Outstanding, class. The lower, the better. Kasi ibig sabihin doon, mas efficient yung collection ng company ng mga receivables sila. Okay? So next meeting, pag-uusapan natin itong Days Inventory Outstanding, Day Sales Outstanding, tapos meron pa nga tayong tinatawag na Days Payable Outstanding. Yun ang focus natin. So may I request you to please take a look at the yung mga ratios natin. So nasa slide 15 na tayo. 54 slides. So meron tayong mga profit margin ratios. Okay, so these are things that ita-target natin na next week. Okay, kung hindi natin matapos to, maybe it's a tall order na matapos natin to ng Wednesday, definitely tatapusin natin to ng Saturday. Okay? So hanggang dulo. Okay, so let me pause recording first. Stop recording.